In this video, mistakes to avoid making when you are going through a transformation, and just setting your expectations when you're going through a big body transformation. Because if you're carrying a lot of body fat and you're trying to make a significant change, guys, you got to set your expectations right from the start. Here's one of my clients, Chelsea. And as you can see, Chelsea's made a pretty sick transformation here. Of course, she's dyed her hair in between the time it took to go from this to this, but you can see she's lost a significant amount of weight and she literally looks like a completely different person. But let's get right into it, and here's some of the mistakes you want to avoid making. I want to kind of go this chart and kind of set expectations when it comes to weight loss. You need to look at it this way, guys. If you know you have 20 pounds or 30 pounds to lose, you're not going to be losing that in 4 weeks, guys. The reality is that could take you 3, 5, even 6 months, because that's an unfortunate thing of weight loss, because the reality is it's taking you years to potentially gain that 30 pounds, so you can't expect to do it within a matter of weeks. It's going to take months because it took you potentially years to gain, so expect it to take months to lose that kind of weight. Of course, you've got a coach and someone who's actually helping you along the journey. It's going to be quicker because that person is going to be able to give you the exact structure of your nutrition, the exact structure of your activity, foods where you should be eating, and help you kind of avoid some of these plateaus. The biggest mistakes that you can make right at the start of a body transformation, especially if you've got a ton of weight to lose, is expecting it to just go straight down. Expecting every single time to step on the scale, you're going to keep losing weight. Guys, it doesn't work like that. Unfortunately, you're going to have unexpected weight fluctuations. Literally, your weight changes on a daily basis, and this is why it's really important to make sure when you are weighing yourself, you're taking an average throughout the week instead of weighing yourself on Monday, then waiting a whole week and then weighing yourself on the following Monday. You're not going to get enough data to ensure it's accurate, because bearing in mind your weight changes every day, and let's say on that particular weekend you decide to have, I don't know, let's say a takeaway, which is going to be typically very salty and it's going to have like a lot of carbs in it, pizza, chips, burgers, whatever it is. That's typically going to lead to weight fluctuation. But let's say your diet was perfect all the way from Monday to Sunday, but you didn't weigh yourself throughout the week. You wouldn't have seen that. The reality is your weight might have actually started to drop, but because you're only weighing it like once a week, you're not going to collect enough data. And like I said, if you had a takeaway, you're going to see a spike in your weight and it's going to change and this is going to start happening. But you're not going to know. Then you're going to end up panicking. So the reality is you need to weigh yourself multiple times to ensure it is accurate. I'd recommend at least 3 times, and then you just take an average so you can ensure things go in the right direction. Another mistake I see that is super common and so many people are making it when they're trying to lose weight is you're not weighing yourself under the same conditions. For example, let's say you're weighing yourself at home and it's in the morning after you've used the toilet. You need to keep it under that same condition. You can't then be weighing yourself in a gym and then expecting your weight to be accurate, because you got to bear in mind you're going to be in the gym. You probably would have been drinking like liquids to obviously ensure you're staying hydrated as you're working out. Guess what? Liquid's going to mean that you're going to weigh more. If you're consuming tons of liquid, of course your weight's going to go up because you're not in a fasted state. Unless you weigh yourself in the gym and you've ate a meal, of course it's not going to be accurate, because now you've got all this food in your stomach, you've got this liquid in your stomach, so you're not in a fasted state, so it's not going to be accurate. So you need to weigh yourself under the exact same conditions as you do the first time. So weigh yourself in the morning in a fasted state after you've used the toilet to ensure that you're actually going to be obviously your bowels are empty, so you're not carrying additional weight or anything like that. And obviously wear as little clothes as possible. Just ensure the surface you're weighing yourself on as well is not like a carpet, because it's not going to be accurate because it moves up and down. Next thing I want to show you guys is really, really important. So let's go. How many calories in 1 pound? A lot of people step on a scale, right? And then they panic and then get kind of crazy and be like, oh my gosh, I've gained weight. When the reality is you're not going to gain weight that easy. Like one bad day isn't going to destroy a whole bad week unless that bad day was so like crazy and you kind of binge and you ate every single thing in sight. The reality is it's going to take a lot of calories. So let's say you're someone who's dieting on, let's keep it simple math, let's say 1,500 calories you're eating as like a female, right? You would then need to eat in that one day, you need to eat 5,000 calories in a day to gain 1 pound. So if you step on the scale the following day and it says that you've gained 1 pound, ask yourself, have I ate 5,000 calories, which is going to lead to me gaining 1 pound? The reality is, like, a lot of people aren't going to eat 5,000 calories in a day. It's a lot of calories. Let's say you're having like a pizza from Domino's, which is about, let's say, 1,000 calories. Come on, guys, you need to have 5 pizzas to gain 1 pound at least. 5 pizzas, right? Like let's be real, you're not gonna eat 5 large pizzas. It's just not gonna happen, right? Now let's get to the reasons for potential weight fluctuations that you could experience when you're going through a body transformation. First thing I want to speak about is, guys, let's say you haven't got a coach like myself. Before you panic, go on Google and then look into it. Do some research. It's really important. Even if you have a coach, to be honest, it's really important to make sure you're doing your research so you can actually get educated along the journey of trying to transform your body. Just so you're not panicking all the time, because all this panicking and like getting frustrated when you see your weight kind of goes up, at least you binging, because you're going to feel upset and disheartened that what you're doing isn't working, when in reality it's actually working. It's just like a temporary weight fluctuation. And here's some of the reasons why. Obviously, if you're consuming salty foods, like I mentioned earlier, let's say you haven't managed to go to the toilet for a couple of days for some reason, maybe because you're not consuming enough fiber, this could then lead to you being heavy on the scale, because if you're feeling more stressed, that can play a massive part. Also, sleep is another really big one. If you're dehydrated or overhydrated by drinking too much water, that could play a massive part. Hopefully you can take away some useful tips and strategies from this actual video. Make sure you like, share, comment, subscribe.